Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're here to talk about the 1997 movie Starship Troopers. And even though this movie came out in the 90s, if you were to tell me this movie was sent from the future in 2040, I would believe it because this movie looks awesome. And as always, I have here with me Ramon
Hey guys.
and Raul.
Howdy, howdy.
Raul, you suggested this movie, and I need you to get on the boat that there's a conspiracy theory this movie will send for the future to recruit people into the army, which clearly worked for you. So
No, it was made to create citizens, so instead of civilians. And no, no. So the big reason why I suggested this movie was because I'm a veteran, and then on Veterans Day, or actually recently on TikTok and the socials, there's been this like meme thing about people are saying like I did my part, and then another guy pops up saying, and I didn't do anything. and then that reminded me, hey, this movie exists, and I love this movie, so we should do it.
movie's
So
awesome.
I would have preferred to do it around Veterans Day, but
Hey,
no, yeah, I love this movie. It's so much of a lot of things, and honestly, I wouldn't even say that that's like a great movie,
shut your mouth right
like
there.
in the quality of the movie, but like it has a lot of great parts to it, and it's the big thing that I like about it is that everyone kind of like knows what they're doing and what they're getting into, and like everyone did their job
All
that
right,
they're meant
Ramon.
to.
Clearly,
You would like
Raul.
to think that
Yeah, clearly
Yeah.
Raul's been brainwashed. So let's go
yeah.
to you now.
Just because it's a cult classic now doesn't mean it was always good, man. Man, I love this movie. Definitely watched it as a teenager, probably like maybe the beginning of middle school sometime. And I can swear that back then I thought it was great, like an actual great action movie because again, the graphics and everything that we had for that time, and then the whole theme of aliens alone probably just won me over as like a young teenager. Rewatching it multiple times throughout the years, I've kind of learned the appreciation of it being like more of a satire parody, like
Yeah.
clearly doing all these like little nice commentaries. But even things like what you just said about like where the actors, I don't know. Like, I mean, there's rumors out there that supposedly they were picked to not be the best actors, so they can kind of play the role of like bad kind of propaganda actors. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I just love the idea of how, like you said, Carlos, it could be sent from like I guess in the past it could have been sent from the future. Because this is a movie like, yeah, it's like you watch it now and it still makes so much sense, still hits it home. It hits a lot of the points of these social commentaries, but at the same time, it's entertaining. It's goofy as heck. Like, I mean, maybe not a funny haha all the time, but it's hilarious to watch when you're trying to take it somewhat seriously. But it's I mean, it was a great movie. I was really happy Raul picked it.
Oh,
I just picked a DVD copy that's still sealed, and I didn't even unwrap it for this. I just rented it for $15, or I mean $5 somewhere because
Dude,
oh,
what I mean with the acting, well, I didn't say anything about the acting, but with the acting, like everyone understood the assignment when it came to this movie, and that's what I love. That like everyone acted how this movie should be acted in
yeah.
the
Well,
context.
dude,
I'm
well,
not saying that they're Oscar winners.
I didn't think it's gonna be this kind of review. I feel like I'm here not to defend this movie. If I knew both of you were gonna F me, I would have brought the lube because now I feel like now I feel like I gotta like talk about how like dude, no, I think this movie it's not the best movie ever made. Clearly Titanic holds that title, but I think this movie's awesome. I think the practical and the special effects and everything that
Oh
was
yeah, the
done
effects.
everything that was
Perfect.
done with it from 1997. It's kind of sucks because like I think when it came out, like the critics missed the point of it. I think it's like 11, 12-year-old boy. Like clearly to me, it was awesome. Seeing it as a 38-year-old man is still awesome. So I don't know, man. I just feel like every when I was 11, I probably thought it was just cool because of the action scenes, and probably in my 20s, I probably picked something else up about it, and then in my 30s, I feel like I'm picking up even something even completely different that I couldn't pick up when I was younger. So I don't know. I like this movie a lot. And just real quick, I don't know if you guys saw, but the army's recruiting in anime conventions now. So they had so they had Misato, somebody dressed up as Misato recruiting people into the army. So I thought it was kind of like perfect timing too.
As who?
That would get me. That would get me in, like, dude, look her up, dude. I mean, if you haven't seen Evangelion, look her up, and let's just say it's one of those. She'll make me do anything.
Yeah, Shinji's the one that like pretty much takes him to the apartment. Not the teacher, but
the
like
teacher lady.
Yeah, her Misato. Yeah,
not a teacher lady. By the way, not a teacher lady.
Not a teacher lady. Definitely not a teacher lady. But yeah, it's kind of funny that the army's doing that to recruit people.
the lieutenant, or I forgot what her rank was.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I know I actually do really like this movie, but like I said, I think part of the funniness or the funny part of it is just seeing other people watch it or rewatch it and they forgot what it was truly like. But is this for those people that know how to watch it? Like, if you know how to watch it, you're enjoying it for all the right reasons. You know, we're not paying attention to the acting because it wasn't great. We're not paying attention to like the storyline because it wasn't great, and even to like, and even like what you said, Carlos, that a lot of like critics in the past like probably missed the point, and it was true. But how do you miss the point where the whole movie seems like it's a freaking propaganda VHS or DVD? They'll pop in high school and say like, "All right, kids, today we're gonna teach you about how to become citizens." Like it seemed pretty obvious to me, and I think even as a kid, I knew that it was an idea of like watching a video to recruit. But again, I think that's part of the fun in watching it, is that the whole time you have these little excerpts of a menu, someone kind of navigating through a menu, and then you end the movie with like a nice little summary of the propaganda video, and I'm like, dude, I want to be just like Rico.
Let me ask you
want to know more?
Or Disney.
This is based on a book. Do you guys think it could be made today and actually maybe follow more of the book, even though I don't know if there's a big difference between what it was written, but clearly I think the director did take it a different level. So I don't know, man, like, is there a possibility of you wanting to see a remake to this? I guess that's a question.
Dude, honestly, like, here's the thing about this movie that like I was thinking, because I was watching it today. And this movie looks like the best made movie that it could be with a very low budget. So like it looked super like well made for whatever budget it was. I don't know if they had a high budget or not, but like it looked like it was super well made cheap movie. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So now I feel that they wouldn't do that same type of concept. I think that they would throw like $100 million into it, and it would like barely break even, because it's not meant to.
You guys are going to give me a heart attack on this recording. But the budget was $100 million.
That's the beauty of this movie. I picked it for a reason. I love this movie.
But the budget was $100 million. I mean, 1995 when it was filming and stuff. Like, I'm sure that's a lot of money, and obviously you can see.
No, but now I don't know what the budget was. I'm saying now if they remade it, I feel like that's what they would do. That they would just throw too much money at it to make it look awesome, but I mean, $100 million. It wouldn't have the kind of because it kind of how Ramon says that. So what's to look kind of like a propaganda thing. It's in some ways it's meant to look kind of bad, but like
video
good.
Game almost,
like on purpose.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah, I definitely think that two reasons why they can't redo it today. One, like they would probably want to take it too seriously and do a real social commentary and something, because I think that's the whole point of the maybe the novel too, is just a social commentary about this, a satire. But I think so that could be one. They might overdo it. They might try too hard. They might just kind of have the wrong idea, so you would never get this Starship Troopers.
They might take it too seriously.
Or you would say, hey, let's do what they did. Let's hire some actors that are not that great known, but they look really good, and maybe they don't. I don't know. They can't act amazingly, like they're not known for like their acting skills. And then just give them some goofy scenarios. Let them just shoot guns in the air like everywhere and see how it goes. And I don't know, man. But I think you can't replicate this movie. Not like they did. Not like they did.
No, and I guess the last thing I'll say, there has been sequels to this movie, and in the third one, like Rico's still alive. In the third one, it was actually animated, and they were using exoskeletons to fight the bugs, so that was really cool. But I'm done, man. Let's talk about the movie. let's actually
Dude,
talk about it.
The budget was $100 million.
Yeah, I looked it up. It was $100 million. But let's talk about it. I mean, let's start it from the beginning, man. Let's get in there.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, first of all, if you want to know how bad the movie is, the sense of like just making you get into disbelief. I forgot they were high school students, man. I thought they were still.
But that's always a thing. They always get 28-year-olds to play like high schoolers, even today.
But I was thinking, like rewatching it again and again. I probably watched this movie like maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and I played it randomly. But again, just every time that I watch it, I forget they're meant to be high school. Like Denise Richards is so freaking amazing, like
she's
gorgeous,
so cute in that.
and the main actor, the guy Rico, like he's good looking too, man. Like you just watch him and you're like, this whole time they're supposed to be like teenagers, right? And to begin with, well, not the propaganda part where they're all like, you know, do your part and all this stuff, but going to the scene when they're in the classroom, right?
I'm
and
doing
you know,
my part.
Here it is, like the jock, like rich kid, like drawing a whole freaking digital ass like rudimentary drawing, and then you know sending it to her like little emojis and kisses. Like it was great to rewatch that because it was just goofy. You know, it's high school kids, but high school kids with like this future technology. And, you know, I don't know, just seeing the interactions already, like they were very stereotypical interactions of, you know, like a, maybe not popular girl, but like smart, good looking girl and like, you know, rich jock guy. And I don't know, it played perfectly into the tropes because then it's easier for you to identify with who you can be in that scenario. Even with Neil Patrick Harris, like he didn't really say he was nerdy, but the fact that he was like smart and possibly like psychic, at least I related to him as being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna
and they don't even give you like anything to like, hey, there's psychics in this. It was like, oh yeah, like we just have to like understand that there is a psychic and that's him.
Dude, that's all the thing that I love about this movie is that like it doesn't try to like it doesn't dumb down the explanation of this world. It just like assumes that you are gonna pick up on it, which is true, and I just love how they do it. And the big thing that I got from this watching of it is like all the stuff in the background that there is, because like apparently in this world. Veterans took over the government, and then that's when they created the citizens and the civilian thing. That only citizens can vote, and then kind of throughout the movie, you catch on to different things that only and rights that only citizens get that civilians don't get. And to become a citizen, you gotta serve. Yeah. So I love how they just kind of like sprinkle that in everywhere, like sporadically, and it just gives you a bigger idea of this world. And then it kind of really made me want to know more about the world in general.
And it sounds kind of like, I'm not saying we could go there like in the next whatever years, but again, give it 100 years, man, and we might be there where the government's like, hey, you want to have a kid? Well, you got to serve in the military or armed forces. You want to be a politician? Like it could be true, man.
You
like,
have to be
these crazy ideas. I mean, it's like the whole, what is that book, 1984, like the Big Brother? It's just like it all comes to like reality, man, little by little.
True. And it's definitely something that I kind of honestly, instead of doing a remake of a movie, I kind of wish that they would do a show of just like of this world, whether it's high school or the actual like the fleets or any of that stuff, because I think anything like that would be awesome.
I guess we never really get a year into like where they're at in the future, which we don't need. I mean, I just kind of like, again, don't even think about that while watching this movie. I just understand that it's the future and there's all this craziness and the army budget must be so out of control because these spaceships are huge, man.
Well, yeah, but it's a world like fleet though. It's not just like one country or whatever.
Like at this point, we don't even probably fight with each other. You know, it's all like world peace. I have to assume.
No. And the funny part is they would probably say in the year 2023.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was. I think it was meant to be. I think it was meant to be in the century. And I mean, how many other movies have we had from like the 90s, maybe a little earlier, that were set in the future and they were like in the 2020s?
Back before the
Back to the Future.
Back to Future. There we go.
That's what you're
And
saying.
it's like in reality, what of that stuff do we have, man? Like, give me some like cool like spaceships and well, I mean, we do have
You-
spaceships and space
you,
stations, but like,
you guys clearly don't appreciate the computer you have in your hands. So you just walk around with.
yeah, but you know, I can't fly this. I can't stand on this and just hover around everywhere. So I will keep
That's
criticizing
that's
that. Movies lied to me. I
that's
love
because
them,
there's
but
no
they lied to me.
that's because there's no guarantee you'll like take your phone and fly it to a building. That's why they don't let you
Yeah.
fly with it.
Or kind of like the Fifth Element.
Wasn't that a little bit weird? Like the whole asteroid falling on the city and then people joining like the military because of that. I was like, oh man, that's kind of a little bit. Yeah, go ahead, Ro.
I have like a whole thing that like I had heard like in somewhere at some point, and then I thought about it, and that's totally true. And then when I was doing the rewatch, like it totally got me. So if you remember in the movie, Carmen, Denise
Mhm.
Richards' character,
Yeah,
she made a new flight plan to make
yeah,
it more optimal.
correct,
If she hadn't done that, they wouldn't have run into the asteroid, and
correct.
they actually bumped the asteroid. And
Oh,
if they
Yeah.
hadn't done that, the asteroid wouldn't have hit Buenos Aires,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
nice. No,
considering how far it was.
I guess I was trying to compare a little bit more to like 9/11, which it's not a joke. It's not a joke.
No,
I was just saying like the whole idea of like something terrible happens and everybody the next day immediately wants to like join the army because that did happen. You know, a lot of people
see,
want to defend their country and they want to sign up. And I can tell you right now, if something happened in here in the US and it like hurt home, like it hurt me in a way, I would probably, even though I'd probably be too old at this point, but I would want to like serve my country or help out in a way. And I felt like that's sort of what happened with the asteroid. Go ahead, Ro.
oh yeah,
No,
you
no, I'm
give her
saying,
a
yeah, like I joined in 2005
No,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, but
when I was
it's
18.
and I'm definitely not one of these guys. But also, like, I also had the like, kind of the idea that it was almost kind of a planned or more of a scripted attack. Not like they're the ones that freaking created the attack, but it's almost like they kind of welcome it because they do want
Mm,
more military
they
forces.
do
And
want
not saying
exactly.
anything about anything like 9/11, but you know that governments be doing that all the time. Like, you know, even in current like current like events that we're going through, there's just some things that we just don't know whose side, who started it first, who organized who created who. Like, you know, it's just always this like narrative of kind of like a very ambiguous like narrative that we're given because like you said, but or at least in this dystopian world, they want people to join this military and everybody to be citizens and get these rights that you should have. Like, you know, having a baby, you shouldn't need a license to have a baby. Like, but it's a whole thing. So
Oh,
it's, I don't know,
no
it's like very,
babies.
it's like very handsmaid tales with obviously with spaceships and creatures, but it's like the whole idea of like you said,
Good
Carlos.
thing everyone's happy about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like
No,
you said, it's like the whole idea of a government getting too politicized or too militarized, and then at one point it's just like it becomes a dystopia. They want whatever they want, they get it done by controlling the net. This is crazy, man. But like again, which
no,
is why it's so good because
no.
it's still so like it just makes so much sense even right now. You know,
No, you
it's
got me
crazy.
thinking about it because, like, is it are the bugs sending the comets or the asteroids? Are they the ones sending it, or is it the government? Like, I never really thought about it like that, Ramon. But I have heard criticisms before about like how like I guess we should be sort of like laughing at the idea that like the bugs are trying to get us when in reality like if we just probably left them alone, they didn't even bother with that planet, like there wouldn't be a war at all. Like they wouldn't even really know that we exist. But it's this whole idea of like we keep poking them or we find reasons to be like this is our enemy, so it is a little bit funny in that
Well,
way.
Well, even when they get the big brain or one of the big brain bugs, you know, like the Neil Patrick Harris, like Neil Patrick Harris, when they're like, so what is he thinking? And he's like, he's afraid. And you know, they claim victory in the idea that he is afraid of us. But at the same time, like maybe they were always afraid of us, right? Like in the movie, because that's what I'm saying. One of those narratives that perhaps we don't know, where you see and we've seen this in other movies too, where you have like these like bug like races, and you know we kind of all of a sudden assume that they're the like the vicious ones, when in reality they're just bugs,
They're
right?
savages.
They're savages, and it's like maybe intelligent enough, but dude, they don't have like freaking dumbs. They don't have robotic like they don't have robots or like AI or something to be able to create, you know, propulsion systems to get the meteorites to come towards us. So you know the whole idea seems like a little sketch. So I'm gonna just claim a big old sus to this whole thing and be like, I don't know, man, this government of theirs, just a little. It's
Well-
just trying to kill the bugs, man.
And also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the whole 1940s Germany aesthetic.
Oh yeah, with
Yeah,
Neil Patrick Harris.
No, in general, like with
the uniforms,
with the symbols, the uniforms, and everything. Like a lot of it is very 1930s, 40s Germany.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
I guess to me, with Neil Patrick Harris, it became the most evident too, because like at the end, he becomes almost like he went straight. He didn't even care. Like he was doing what he needed to, and throwing people like right, because he knew that some of these attacks were going to happen, because what else is going to happen in a world infested or bug infested world? But it's like at one point he comes out and he's like super military official, and he just reminded me of like those dudes, man, like that Reich, and it's just like, yeah, great.
Well, dude, let's take it back to the beginning and it's a little bit more fun parts about the
Sure.
movie. Let's talk about the
The
football.
whole movie's fun.
How cool was
Yeah.
that football, dude? Dude, I want football like that today, where people are taking backflips or flips forward.
So in the beginning of the movie, like I was kind of getting some like weird ideas that like maybe in this world, like people have like evolved a little bit more to be able like to be better physically because they've developed psychic powers apparently, and then maybe some like extra physical abilities or whatever, because like it looks like the floor is just mats, but somehow Rico can do all these crazy jumps like if he's on a trampoline.
That's true.
So,
I mean, because you know that's where it's heading to. Eventually, it's like a Gattaca situation. Like we'll be able to pick.
Oh yeah,
Gattaca. We'll be able to pick like what genes we want in our kids. You know.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then we're all gonna be 6 feet or taller.
Yeah, you're right.
With no
Would you want to
diseases
be that
and
tall sometimes?
no
Like,
balding.
hey. I picked this. Just kidding. I did not.
Your mom picked it for you.
Excuse me.
Oh my god.
She had no choice.
Can believe you,
man. Now I hate Starship Troopers. See what this movie does? Point out flaws in your system.
And also, my dad bought jeans.
That teacher, like most of the some of the higher ranking, like older generals and people in this movie were all bald, man. So that teacher, dude, he was pretty badass.
But it's crazy because when Rico signs up and it's like, oh, what are you going to be, son? And infantry, it's like, infantry made me the man I am today. And it's like, dude, like, if I saw that, like, no offense, but that would have made me like a little bit like run out the door and be like, rip the papers. I don't want to join this because it's just like, I don't know.
Well, and so I guess that does help us dial back a little bit again to the beginning, because again, right away you find out that Rico is truly just joining the Federation because of freaking Denise rich, with Carmen, and it's just one of those things that, like, you know, especially the fact that he is rich, and that whole scene with the parents.
Well, he's an idiot. He got a 37 on the math test.
Yeah, I mean, but Raul, I'm not gonna make this comment because you are pretty smart, but I'm like, you know, to be in infantry, to be like the first people there, you don't need to be smart.
Oh, you definitely don't. Like I want to base it. I want to base.
I mean, I'm not making fun of it at all, obviously, but just,
with people, they got waivers on the ASVAB, so like there's a minimum score you need to get on this test.
Yeah,
and then some people came from places that there's like low recruiting, so they were able to get a waiver because they scored under that test.
Dang. Well, for Rico's character, they definitely played on that part, and they were playing on this, you know, freaking making fun of that, because clearly not everyone, but in reality, that's what it was, right? Rich kid, the parents. That was just, again, funny scene because the parents are like, "What? No, you're gonna go to Harvard," and then it's like, "Wait, don't you want to go on vacation to that island place?" And he's like, "I do," and then he's like, "Yeah, see, just." Don't join, and we'll go on vacation. And then for a second,
like my parents don't have. I mean, I clearly didn't grow up rich, but I think my parents, if I would have came and said like, "Hey, I want to join this," you know, after I graduated high school, they were really against it, man. Like, I don't know what they would have done had I ever like really had that mindset. Because I mean, if I'm 18, they really can't stop me. But I knew all my life like that possibly wasn't an option because I knew my parents would never have allowed it. But again, if it's my decision, I'm just saying this, but I knew my mom and dad, when I floated those ideas around, like it was always like, no, you're not doing that. So I understand where his parents were coming from.
My mom didn't want me to do it either, but it wasn't her choice. And then I told her, and then she wasn't happy with it. But she
pretty awesome that you did,
Raul,
Yeah, no. I mean, we all know people like in our high school that, you know, did serve, and sadly some of them didn't.
Our friend Tony.
But even some that like didn't come back, and you know, we still celebrate them today every year because, you know, they're fallen heroes. So that sucks.
Yeah.
War, man, sucks.
No.
Yeah. That's kind of part of it too. That this movie does, and right after we did our Attack on Titan thing too, 2 weeks ago or whatever. But yeah, because like war is not a good thing, but sometimes it happens.
Hey,
So
hey, let's take it back to another happy spot. Amy Smart. Amy Smart. How awesome was that scene?
Oh my
Her?
god, I
Dude,
love I
Woo,
another
yeah.
person, another
love her.
actor,
Butterfly
actress at
Effect
that
is one of
time.
my favorite
Oh,
movies.
Road trip,
Partly
baby.
because of
Road
her,
Trip.
because she's brilliant
But
in it.
Butterfly Effect, yes. Because
It,
yes.
it's funny because for Friendsgiving, Ryan Reynolds did a commercial for his liquor that he sells, and then he brought her back as a Friendsgiving sequel, and it was kind of funny because
That's
he's like,
awesome.
"Wait, I'm not here for a Friendsgiving sequel. You're here to like promote your damn liquor."
That's
All the
funny.
It was
aviation
fun.
gin.
Deviation, but yeah, Amy Smart.
I
I like
mean,
seeing her a lot.
obviously a little sad that you didn't see her a lot, but you know, it is what it is. No, I mean, and I think obviously we talked a little bit about Rico, like Denise Richard, Carmen in this one was also kind of a funny character, right? Because she was really smart, but also she was just that girlfriend that wouldn't say "I love you." Fuck her. Sorry, don't. But then for that reason, just because I mean, men, women, whatever you are, like you know how it feels when you don't get told "I love you" back. It fucking hurts. It hurts,
Yeah.
and you know that was the moment that I decided I did not like her, no matter how much I like her. So I just kind of had a bittersweet relationship with her. And then, of course, like that whole Rico her situation ship, and then the fact that at one point you know it was gonna happen. Like who didn't guess that was coming? The second that she went ahead and went to the academy and did her whole thing, like, sorry, baby. It's like we just need to
Yeah.
grow apart.
Ro, did anybody break up with you while you were serving?
Nope. I made it a point on purpose to not get in a relationship before I left.
There you
Oh,
go.
no. Yeah.
Even though I had so many suitors wanting to. I'm kidding.
I mean, you had this Denise Richards emailing you saying, "Raul, please don't go without making me your girlfriend."
No, I had Desi.
Oh, there you go.
Des.
Desi, yeah. That was
dude,
another character too who freaking angered me. I'm like, stop being so hung up on freaking Rico, man.
Dude, and she did the same thing. She told Rico, I love you, and he didn't say it back
didn't say
either.
nothing. No, he was just there for the action at that moment.
For the
Yeah.
excitement.
I could understand why Rico, as you know, I know it sounds crazy, like this is clearly an attractive woman, but I could understand from Rico's point of view, like why he wouldn't like want to, you know, somebody you grew up with, somebody you never really had feelings with, you know, he's clearly dating the prom queen, so it's like, you know, he's not even gonna look her way. So I understood, even though obviously as you get older, you're kind of like, damn, this person's always been there, like, so clearly you want to give that person a chance, but yeah, like I like Dizzy a lot. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Man, I think it was just like
And she is hot too.
That helps. Yeah.
I think it was just fun and just in kind of watching
He was the
scenes
quarterback.
well, yeah, no, exactly. I'm like, there's fun watching the scenes where they're clearly playing the high school students, right? Like these, like her being the quarterback, like them at the dance, and it's just funny because I'm like, I mean, I can't imagine me being 28 and trying to play an 18-year-old, you know, or being at that point, like
Not
even
even
now,
a 17-year-old.
well, yeah, and then given that
18?
different generations, teenagers are different anyways because based on their freaking society and stuff. But regardless, I just can't imagine me going back and trying to play myself back then. Like I just wouldn't be able to do it. Like I'm just not that person. So it was kind of funny when they're at the dance and they're kind of sitting here like he was about to kiss Desi like at the cheek when she said like, "Is it okay for me to go?" Like they have the very upfront flirting, and it's, you know, like, you know, it's just kind of funny. Like all those moments would have pissed me off in high school, man. It really, like I said, pulled in my strings because it was exaggerated, but it was just so spot on, not with the acting, but spot on with like the story of like, hey, like your girl's talking to another dude, like what? Like, but he's going to the same academy. It's like, who cares? Like, let's go dance.
You know, I am happy we have Raul here with us because Raul, like, I do want you to tell us like how accurate was the basic training to the basic training that you had. Was it the shower scenes the same? Was that like a perfect
communal shower?
Exactly the same. and yeah, with all the not girls there because I was infantry, and at the time there was no girls in infantry. So no, but yeah, like that was crazy. That like, so how intermingled the sexes are?
Yeah.
like in this movie, because you have a girl playing quarterback in the same sport that's obviously a contact sport, and she's a badass about it, which also adds to the whole thing that I think people are like genetically enhanced or whatever in this future. And then everyone's like during the shower scene, everyone's just so cool about it.
Yeah.
Because one, like we didn't even have open showers like that where like spread out. There's walls with showers on them,
Oh,
and
that's good.
but you're not like facing in talking to each other. You're like typically facing out or whatever, and there's no girls.
But you know what? I mean, if that was like true or even somewhat realistic, I still wouldn't even trust it. Can you imagine a bunch of like 18, 19-year-olds like all butt naked taking a shower together? Never.
Yes, because we did it.
Never.
The only thing I can think about is that like if you as a child are told that it's like, hey, it's okay for you to shower with girls, and like you grow up with that, I feel like at a certain point, like, yeah, even if you're 20, 17, like it would just become normal. Like, okay, like, yes, I was put in this situation yesterday or even like a week before. So it's like, I don't care. It's not even a big deal anymore. Like, so I don't know, man. I feel like maybe they do have like a perfect utopia.
I think that would go bad in your mid-teens, though.
Oh yeah, everybody was walking around with boners poking each other, definitely.
So you want to know a funny little thing that I found out like a while back and just rewatching some things about this movie. That I guess like the actors were like uncomfortable filming this scene, that a lot of them were like not necessarily opposed, but they were just uncomfortable, and they kind of like made it a thing. It's like, oh, for the director, if you like direct this naked, then we'll do the scene. And I guess he did it because like look it up, and I'm trying to look it up just because I just had that flashback of just like reading that somewhere, and it said something about it.
Real question: was the director French? I don't know who.
No, I think he was like Swedish or maybe Danish or something, and something about like a nudist colony. And I'm just briefing through it, but that's enough. I think that I know enough. Like he must have done it. So like, I'll get naked too. Let's do this, guys. Let's just you know.
Considering the other movies that he's made, it kind of makes sense because he had this, and then he did a Hollow Man, which not naked thing, but he also did the Fatal Attractions. And then he did the Benedetta movie that came out more recently. I don't know
which one that came out. Which one that came out recently?
Benedetta. It's about the nun.
Oh, okay. I have not seen
That's
that.
not rated.
No, okay. I don't know what you're talking about, but I believe you.
It's a spicy movie that European spicy.
You know it's good when Raul says it's a spicy movie. He's
made RoboCop like that. Okay, that alone. That's all I needed. There you go. RoboCop.
Yeah, he did.
RoboCop doesn't like relate to that though.
Dude, RoboCop, the satire on that is so like on another level.
Yeah.
Like I'll buy this for $1. Yeah. That makes sense. Sorry, Ramon, what were you gonna
smoking?
No, I was saying that he's actually from the Netherlands, the director. So that that's awesome. Like loves the Netherlands. That's good.
No, we love Europe here, even though we haven't visited. I don't think none of us.
I've gone to Iceland, close enough.
I've been in the airport of Ireland.
That's don't you start. That's Europe, man. That is. There's no like.
I was gonna say you're more like in Canada.
What? No.
Wait, you're more Scandinavia.
That's funny. No,
are you sure you didn't go to Greenland?
No, I was not in Greenland. I would have noticed the difference. It would have been penguins and icicles and stuff. So,
let's go someplace cold in space. I mean, or unless there's more about the basic training you want to talk about. I mean, awesome scenes. I love the whole basic training, everything about it. Like how you learn some lessons about like, even if you're like the helmet situation, that was crazy.
Yeah. What about the administrative punishment?
Oh, the corporal.
Yeah.
Punishment?
No. It was administrative punishment.
Oh, it was administrative?
Yeah. It was administrative punishment, and it was 10 lashes.
Yeah. That's fucked up. Like, what do we need to say about that? That sucks.
Dude, it must be common because even the dad in the beginning of the movie was like, "Oh, I'll take 3 lashes if it means that you don't have to go to military."
Yeah.
Yeah,
he did.
I missed that.
Yeah, he said that in the movie. Yeah.
Another thing yet about this dystopian world, man, it's totally back like that type of punishment.
Dude, yeah, because even the sergeant, like the Joe sergeant, he was like, bite this bite down on this. It'll help. Trust
And
me,
he's
I know, or
yeah,
something like that. So like it gives you the impression that he's gotten his lashes too.
Imagine if we decided to solve our disputes with like whiplashes. Like, all right, Ro, I'll give you a
Or
whiplash,
duels.
and then no whiplashes.
No, I'm gonna do duels. I want to bring back duels.
Those will be good.
Yeah, as long as the bullets are like they're not strong enough to penetrate you, maybe talk to me about it.
Or we can do like sword battles.
I do a
Those
sword
kind of
battle.
duels.
Fencing, I mean, we can always fence.
No,
I
not
would love to
fencing,
fence.
real swords. I'm kidding. Again,
Yeah.
I keep saying a lot of dumb stuff today. I'm like, fencing. Yeah.
Yeah, if we don't come back if we don't come back next week,
There
you
goes
know
our
why.
fencing audience.
Ah, man, it was a long day, guys. But this movie was perfect. This movie was just like great. If you guys need a feel good movie, watch this one.
Man, we haven't even gotten to the bug planet yet. Come on, guys.
Anyway, okay, so I'll fast forward a little bit. So he was about to quit. Buenos Aires got destroyed, even though like everyone from Buenos Aires is white in this movie. But they do have Spanish last names like Ibanez and Rico and
Flores.
and I don't know what Desi's last name is.
Flores.
But,
Flores.
Oh yeah, Flores.
Flores.
Yeah, Flores. So yeah, so like everyone has the names, just everyone's white for some reason. But once they get over there, like, so I really am an infantryman. So seeing how everyone was going was kind of killing me in the inside a little bit. But like, I also got that they purposely made it bad. Well, I'm hoping that they purposely made it bad tactics because it was just really, really bad because they're all bunching up and like shooting next to each other and flagging
you mean
each other.
them shooting their guns like this was supposed to be for real?
and believe it or not, they also teach us not to bunch together,
Yeah.
which everyone was always doing and getting super close to these stupid bugs instead of shooting from a distance.
Oh well, goodness, we missed that like part in training when Rico got his like one of his guys killed.
Yeah, so
because like during that freaking active training, like he took off his helmet.
Yeah, there's no way that would happen.
So that was a glimpse of more controlled situations, and yeah, of course, like the way they totally went into the bug planet was.
Well, dude, if you guys ever see Born on the 4th of July with Tom Cruise, like that's kind of what it's about. Like this kid that joins the military and he's like, yeah, I wanna join the military, and then he goes to war, and like a lot of the killing that happened was like, I think he he started shooting during like smoke screen, and he killed some of his like friendly fire. So it's just like, I'm sure that happens more than not in war. Kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I
mean, today, Ro, probably less because of the training, but imagine like Vietnam
and technology too. It's made to avoid those kind of things.
Yeah, I like the bugs. I just don't like the consistency of like sometimes it takes like 5 people to unload to kill one, and then sometimes it's just like and it's like down on the floor.
Because they're not Neil Patrick Harris, and they apparently didn't watch that video of him like shooting them in their nerve center or whatever.
The training video that he did.
Explaining it to them. Oh man, but that, I mean, again, anything with the bugs looks great, man. Like not even the brain bug. Like there's no flaws with the bugs,
or even the giant beetles with the fire.
Yeah, I mean, not even the fire ones, but the ass blaster ones, great ones, because before you know that it's.
I thought they were the same bug, just in this case they're shooting from the ass, and then sometimes they shoot from the front.
No, I didn't think so, because the one that shot flames from the front had like a black like tail shell,
like a beetle.
Yeah, and the other one had more like a clear underbelly. And again, it's the freaking alien bug anatomy. But no, like it was cool because like obviously you knew they were already fighting bugs, but then as you have these big giant starships like getting closer to the planet, and then you start seeing these blue freaking fire blasts like coming back out. You don't know what it is right away. I mean, again, teenager mind, young teenager mind. I did not expect. They didn't know what it is. Yeah, I didn't expect that it was gonna be freaking coming out of a freaking bug's butt. But that was cool.
Explain how you know it's come.
No, I didn't say that. No, I'm saying it was coming from. It was coming from a bug's butt, Carlos.
Oh my God, Carlos!
Jesus.
No, I thought that's what he
Carlos
said.
was
Oh,
really
no.
into it. Like,
And then Ramon always has like this deep insight of catching things that I don't. And I'm like, okay, like you tell me
Well,
how that's dumb ejaculating.
I think the most perverted bug, like,
Oh my God.
kind of side comparison was the brain bug, right? Because
Yeah.
clearly his freaking thing was both genitalia. It was both genitalia too. You saw that, right? Because they had the one, and then they had the little prong to suck the brains. Which
Dude, if
you
you
know,
would've
that's
Maybe that was the big C.
Dude, if you would have told me Starship Troopers was gonna be the movie that was gonna get us canceled, I would have never had guessed.
I mean, have you seen what's on the internet? That's no, man. It's far from it. I hope that again, people are listening to this and they're like, "Man, what is this movie?" If you haven't watched it, maybe this will be enough. This point right now, when we're talking about bugs and dual genitalia.
And I will say, my face was like, I legitimately thought that's what you said, but or you know what? I thought you were gonna go in the way that like they were shooting like maybe poop into space, but then when you said "come," I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Like I didn't pick up on that.
But in reality, who knows, right? Because you have like stink bugs, and that's like I don't know what actually. I'm not even gonna go there because I don't know what stink bugs really release. But it could be like a combination of pheromones and chemicals and things. Like same thing with the flamethrower one. So it's like that the science and that is not even not believable because you do it.
That they mentioned earlier.
Well, in general, I mean, like you take a little stink bug, right? They do like a chemical like reaction that in reality. That's potentially for a bug alien that could be really realistic. So to me, it was just really cool to see them coming from their butts. And then later on, the flamethrower alien was really cool. Yeah, they're lighting butts. There you go.
Yeah. Well,
we have named the alien lighting butts.
I do like how this movie makes us feel like we lost Rico and we lost right in the beginning, and it's they were Denise Richardson's, but we don't. And it's kind of like I still feel like they, especially with Denise Richardson's character, I feel like they made it so obvious that she passed away, and then later on it's like, oh no, she's fine. I'm like, oh,
dude, the cabin filled up with fire.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, she's dead.
Yep. But I don't know, the whole like Rico seeming dead to Denise Richards, that was a whole different story. She deserved that. She deserved to think that he was dead. She deserved to be like, oh no, I loved him after all. Like, you know. Yeah. But and then actually too, like I really like for what it was, I really like that Rico took another personality turn at that point, right? Because now he had suffered a lot, like he had lost so many other like comrades, and at this point, like he starts to turn, and his family, and now, yes, of course, he's more of a soldier. He's definitely in it for a different purpose, but at the same time, his relationship with Desi also kind of changed a little bit too, because then he finally, not saying like he opened up, but he allowed it to happen, right? Mm-hmm. And like you said, Raul, great point that she says "I love you" to him, and he doesn't say it back, so it's almost kind of a similar situation where like. Now he's like just kind of more of a shell, and he's just like, yeah, like I'll have sex with you, but then you know he cares about her, but also not fully.
And I do think he was also showing up for his teacher. I feel like once he saw that that's my commander, like he was like, I gotta.
He saved them.
Yeah. So he has to like prove to him like what a great human he is or soldier. So it's like he was trying an extra hard to be noticed by him. I was gonna say when he does finally hook up with Dizzy. You know, it's kind of weird, but like, you know, she starts like right away by like kissing like his nipples, and I was like, that's kind of weird. Like, I never like that totally caught me by surprise because I feel like this is always more of like a movie
that's not something that they typically show or do or
no,
go
it's
for
like I feel like because they've been showing her as like a tomboy almost. It's like, okay, for her to do that right away, it's just like, I'm not saying anything against it. I'm like, if anything, I might go tell my wife about that scene tonight so that she can get some idea.
Baby, I have a suggestion. I just watched Starship Troopers, and
there's
something we should try.
The movie.
There's something I would like to try today.
But like Rose said, you don't see that in movies very often being done.
Yeah. No, but it was great too because even when she's dying too, it's just like I'm just happy that I got to have you, and you know it was cheesy because I mean, well, cheesy in a it made sense way because like that's what mattered to her. She always wanted to be with Rico, and then she finally had her moment, and at least in her last seconds of breath, like that was her happy place was to think about Rico and their nipple licking, as Carlos puts it. So,
Do you know what I just
little
realized?
foreplay, just a little. Yes.
Rico means rich in Spanish.
No. Yeah. No.
See,
See.
It could also mean
his family's
delicious.
rich. Huh?
It could also mean delicious.
Oh yeah.
As Carlo reflects
Suave,
Sunda. I just assumed it was definitely more of a Rico Suave, and he was like a looking dude, man, like and again popular jock guy, so made sense.
And Desi is flowers.
And then
Yes.
he last name's Flores, so Desi Flowers, where they were going with that? Okay.
I don't know.
What about Carmen? What was her last name?
Ibanez or Ibanez. Maybe they didn't put the
Ibanez.
Enya in there, but
Ibanez.
yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, before we started recording, I did tell Ramon, like, as much as I was like paying attention 100%, I think the last 15 minutes is where I started being like, okay, I kind of like, I've seen this movie so many times, like I cannot like even count how many times I've seen this movie, but like I feel like towards like the end, like I knew I wasn't really gonna pick up on anything new, so that's when I started to be like, all right, this needs to like start wrapping it up. But I mean, anything about the ending that to you guys, maybe you guys caught that I didn't because I wasn't paying attention.
I will say when they go on that base, they got the distress call that they showed up when they first realized that people's brains were sucked out, and they found that general in that freezer or whatever it was, or the cabinet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that general was freaking out, and then it's kind of like, and that's when we got because right after that was when Neil Patrick Harris, his character, came out, and it seemed like that they put him there on purpose so that the bugs would come out because they're investigating that brain thing, the brain bug.
Yeah, and to me that whole brain bug was still kind of a little bit of a mystery, because I mean I like the idea of there is obviously smart bug that controls them in one way or another, or like what movie, The Day After Tomorrow, where you have like the alphas and the ones that give the signals and the orders, but just the idea of like he was sucking the brains out. Like we never truly found out what was the purpose of that, right? It just became more of a vehicle for us to be like, because it only was twice that it was more of a vehicle to be like, oh my god, that bug loves brains. But maybe does he use the brain juice to get smarter, or does he like suck in their memories? Like no,
that's how he's able to get information about like attack dates or when the attack is coming, how to defend against it. So I think it is doing those kind of things. Yeah, like it understood what the bomb was. Like when he saw the bomb, Rico's like, you know what this is. So it's like it understood.
Yeah.
How about the fact that they have handheld nukes?
That's funny.
I mean,
and did you see those nukes? No.
Yeah.
It was like how Power
Rangers. Yeah.
Well, no, it did seem like it was like supposed to be like a mini nuke, because they really emphasized the word nuke. Like they never changed it; they never called it like another bomb or like grenade or anything. It was always nuke. And if you saw the one that they actually used on the field when they were like attacking them in the first place, that thing was crazy. I mean, it was like probably like obviously 1990s ballistic, like Power Rangers ballistics. But then you have the explosion, and then you had the and for what it was, that was so awesome. I'm like, yeah, that would have carpeted, taking everybody out.
Oh, dude, you know what I'm talking? That was real. Those explosions were like definitely planted by the production of the movie. That's awesome.
Oh no, of course, but that's what I'm saying. It was great. Tropic Thunder. And talking about like I guess talking about the weapons. Something that I did catch at the end. It was the whole movie. I was always like, man, these freaking they have infinite ammo on these weapons, infinite ammo. And at the very end, like the third act is finally when the one girl, when Desi's like, you have a clip. Awesome. Right? But just the ones at the very end of the movie. But the whole time, they're just like nonstop. And I'm like, those clips, like they were like, it was like about this big.
And like, dude, I didn't understand why they didn't use the shotgun weapon more.
I don't know, dude. I feel like the bigger, more explosive rounds would definitely do a lot more impact and damage to these bugs, and the smaller rounds that are just gonna like make tiny holes in them. But
no,
I agree with
that makes sense.
Yeah, something that I wanted to talk about. It's not too off topic with the movie, but Raul, you probably know more than like Ramon. But do you think without this movie, do we get a Halo video game? Do you think we still get Halo? Ooh. Because this Halo takes so much inspiration from this movie, Ramon. Like if you ever play like early Halo, like the first one, it's 100% like the way they're dressed.
Yeah.
The way that the drop shifts, the ring. I saw that the ring
Yeah.
was in the moon in this time around when I was watching this movie. Like a lot of inspiration was taken from this movie when Halo was created. And I think you can probably find articles that they truly did. But it's just like, yeah, like I just thought it was really funny because I always associate this movie with Halo because of how they're dressed and everything.
Even
about
some
it.
of the maps too.
The weapon too. The weapon or the thing. Yeah, like everything about it. It's definitely. I think this movie. We don't get Halo without this movie, and for that I am thankful.
You're right. Like I could definitely see it. Like I could see it being created independently of this movie, but I totally get your point because it definitely seems that Halo got inspiration from this movie because
like they saw this movie and it was like a muse, like, hey, I have an idea and why not? I mean, as long as
we could probably put part of this into it or something.
I mean, even like the enemy's not bugs, but it's like, like a lot of it, even like the cruise ships, like it's just like everything about it. It's just sorry, that was just like the gaming part of it that I wanted to talk about. But yeah, I like this movie, man. I am telling you, I was really shocked to find out how you guys thought it was like a like low. I don't know, just whatever you guys described it as. I can't even.
We did no. We were just being real, like the reality of it, because you can't tell just any normal person to go watch this movie and expect them to get everything, all the insight or the appreciation that we have. Yeah. So I think we weren't. I wasn't being negative. It was more of like breaking it down from the beginning and saying, in reality, this movie's not the best. Don't go into with the idea that it's like a masterpiece or it's like even Day After Tomorrow, because I just mentioned this, so it was very brief in my head. Like a war with aliens, and it's this crazy, like super visually, like beautiful movie, and then you have these like amazing actors.
What movie are you talking about?
Day After Tomorrow. Wait, Tomorrow Never. Oh my God, the Tom Cruise movie, Emily.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, Tomorrow.
The Day After Tomorrow is the freezing one with Dennis Quaid and Jake Gyllenhaal.
That is true.
All I need is
I was like, wait, what are you talking about?
It's been a long day, man, and then watching the alien movie at the end of it is just. But you know what I mean. So with the Tom Cruise movie is that whole idea of like that. That's like kind of like the. If you made this movie now, that's what it kind of people I feel like would
yeah.
You're right.
But talking about Starship Troopers again, never the intention to talk about it negatively because I love the movie, but it's definitely you have to be realistic when telling others about it because again, not everybody's gonna get those subtleties. Not everyone's gonna watch it and be like, dude, that was a great movie. No, like I think it comes from years of watching it. It comes from like our experience in watching
of the
other
type
movies.
of movie it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally want like an Edge of Tomorrow with like this movie crossover now. Like now you put that in my head.
Yeah. Well, this movie in a weird way also made me think of Mars Attacks when I was watching it because Mars Attacks is another movie that reminds me of this, where it's like it's kind of goofy, right? Like not like goofy like it's stupid or like it's supposed to be funny, but it's like goofy in a sense because you could kind of take it seriously, but then it's a commentary more about how like governments and things respond, and so it's kind of like it is a satire, it is funny, but it tries to take itself seriously, and that's the way that it wants to do itself. But again, it's supposed to be like a propaganda video, so that's all you need to say. And at the end of the day, they weren't even the heroes, right? Because it wasn't Dumb who got the big brain bug. It was the one
the drill sergeant
that went back to being a private just so he could go back to fight. Like that was awesome.
Yeah. I guess this is a good wake up call for me, like knowing now that hey, maybe if I do show this to somebody that didn't grow up with this movie, like they might come out of it and laugh at me and be like, dude, why'd you show me that? Like
they would.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't understand it. They wouldn't understand like all this stuff that we just throughout the years have gathered information about this movie because we think it's so great. So it's like, damn, that's a sad reality for me.
I mean, that's the thing though, that like I think like all of this was like done on purpose. I think like I think the writing is kind of goofy on it. Like the dialogue is ridiculous.
It's supposed to be cheesy, a little cheesy.
But it's on purpose. And I think that's part of the beauty of it because like you have the whole propaganda part of it. You have kind of like all the symbolism of all these different things, and then you also have this kind of like melodramatic, weird like acting in it. With super cheesy like phrasings and catchphrases all over the place and mimicry and other stuff with super amazing graphics all over the place because like the movie still like the CGI here and the graphics and the all the effects still hold up now. And it's 6 years later.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. It does. Like, I didn't see. I just right now before we did this recording, I rented it on Apple, and that's the thing that kind of was pissing me off. That either my internet wasn't catching up to the movie, and some parts like it kind of like I saw it went a little blurry, which again it kind of reminded me of me watching it back in the day. But I really, Ramon, I don't know if you have a 4K copy of this movie, because I know you said you have something like a Blu-ray on this movie, like that's not open. But if I could find this in 4K, I'm really interested to see if I would love this movie like a lot more, just because I do feel the way I was watching it, like I don't know, I just felt outdated a little bit, like you guys were trying to like tell me. And I think maybe like a 4K version of this movie might make it, for me at least, believe like, oh yeah, this is actually holds up with anything today because of the if we got like a 4K restoration.
Yeah, but I don't know how that would work, because I mean, even just with like HD streaming, like it's still pretty grainy. Like watching it, you see the discoloration of the pixels throughout the faces and stuff. So I think that's one of those movies that you can't truly remaster unless you're doing some digital enhancement. But again, I think that's kind of the fun of it, right? Because it's for me, it was more like popping in a VHS to try to recruit. Like, I the multiple times that I've seen recruiting videos back when I was younger, it was like either through a VHS or a commercial. And that's what it always reminded me, right? We had like our old freaking tube TVs that were freaking couple feet deep, and all these, everything was so slightly grainy, not super HD. And this movie being that way, actually, I think made it a little bit more fun.
It's kind of funny because a lot of the directors can probably say that today, like, hey, when I made this in the 90s, 80s, 70s, like I never thought people would be seeing it in their 75, 85-inch TV in their living rooms. Like I never expected that would even be a thing. So it's like, it's true.
With
like
this many megapixels.
Yeah. But no, dude, Raul, like I love this movie. Thank you for recommending it. I don't know what else I could add to it, because I don't know. It's just a great movie. Like I just had fun just watching it by myself. It was longer than I expected it to be.
I know.
But again, that's not a negative on it. It just it was a little bit longer. I'm like,
okay. It doesn't feel long. It feels like as long as it needs to be.
There's nothing I would take out. I also thought it was like an hour and 30 minutes at the shortest, and I was also surprised to see that it was over 2 hours, or 2 hours basically,
or like just about 2 hours.
Yeah. So it's like 2 and 9 minutes,
which is funny because nowadays people complain if it's like under 2 hours. Like I think that was not to talk about the Miss Marvel movie, but that was another thing people were like saying about it going into it, like, oh, this is the shortest Marvel movie up like currently, like that one. Because it was under 2 hours or something.
Well, they were going to hate regardless, so exactly. It's probably better that it was less for them to
haters gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate.
Is there anything you guys want to like talk about real quick before we get off? Like anything you guys real quick you saw over the weekend you want to recommend or anything like that?
Doom Patrol's awesome. I've been watching that.
You said that last week.
We can do repeats, man. Okay.
Yes, again. It's still awesome, dude. I'm just not over how good the cast is.
Okay, so you're still in the Doom Patrol. Cool. Ramon, you?
No, man. I don't think I've done much watching TV right now, but I definitely
the end of the last episode of Invincible.
Nope,
that was
the
crazy.
Ending, like the last minute of that crappy ass episode. After if you see Jujutsu Kaisen,
crappy ass.
Dude,
I didn't watch it the same day. Yeah. I didn't watch it the same day.
But if you're me and you watch Jujutsu Kaisen and then you go straight to that episode, it's like, oh my god, dude. It's terrible.
Oh no, actually, that's a lie. I just finally suckered into doing the 7-day trial of Paramount Plus. So I watched the new Transformers movie. I also another movie that you enjoy, right? You just shut up and you don't criticize it. You don't say a thing. You're just like shh, nothing. And just enjoy it.
I liked it.
It was a fun movie, absolutely. And I love Beast Wars, man. So it's like this is what I've been asking for years, to have like Beast Wars.
Needed more Beast Wars. It
needed more Beast Wars. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And more of the characters, because and actually it was just them doing more stuff because it wasn't enough of them. Especially for them being as great. But I did love like the relationship of like Optimus Primal and then Optimus Prime and that whole like idea of like one's named after the other, but he doesn't live up to that. And it's just, so little things. If we ever talked about it, that would be fun. And then the Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Total Mayhem, another fun movie.
You barely saw it, no?
Yeah, I barely saw it too. Because again, it's just I love Ninja Turtles, but it was just one of those things.
What did you think? I know you're an
artist.
artist.
Beautiful, 100%. That was the best part of the movie. I just think that the art style, like the graphics.
Oh yeah.
100%. I think the movie in general, again, maybe not the best in overall story because it was lighthearted. It was meant to be more like, like they're teenagers. It was more of like, be part of the family and be part of the team and save the world. I definitely really enjoyable, but I think that's what it is. Like beyond that, I just didn't think about it.
Did you see the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure hoodies or shirt that he kept wearing?
Oh, you know what JoJo's
and all the Attack on Titan references and
What did you think about the milking joke?
The milking joke, it was great.
Like when he landed, like it was truly great.
Yeah, because they were finally being milked.
They're milking us.
I was so annoyed by it because it was like, this is not funny. Like drop it, and then it paid off. I was like, oh my god, this is awesome.
But it's funny because even they're like, but we don't have nipples, or they don't have.
Or I did like the Jackie Chan, like how he used to fight, like they're doing the whole like homage to how he used to fight, like with his environment and everything. That was really cool too.
Did you guys see that Jackie Chan and the original Karate Kid are going to be doing a new Karate Kid movie, and they're casting for the new Karate Kid
on the East Coast?
Yeah,
it's crazy. Man, do I look like a 16-year-old or something? Like,
I rewatched the Spider-Verse, and it's still so good. It's so good.
I think once it's like a Netflix, knowing that I can pause it and pick it up, like I didn't watch it in one sitting. I was just kind of like dropping in and out of it. But that scene when he's being chased, truly incredible. Like I would never like pause that and walk away. Like you have to watch from like that moment he's being chased to where it ends.
Blue Beetle's on Max.
Oh yeah, Blue Beetle. Didn't rewatch that too, but yeah.
I'll watch.
But we haven't talked about Blue Beetle.
No, yeah. Yeah, we were looking for a movie to maybe next week talk about after, like something in the middle, like something just random. But yeah, I'll watch Blue Beetle. The thing that I was watching, just real quick, that I want to send a shout out to, and something that I will make sure you both watch it. I don't care what I have to do, is Blue Eye Samurai. Just because
I will.
I'll watch it this weekend.
Just because I watched it because somebody talked about it and I trust this person. I watched the first episode and I thought it was okay. The first episode was okay. But then it just evolved into something like truly amazing though. Like I'm still thinking about it. I want more. I need more of this character. There has to be a second season. That's why I need you guys to watch it before Netflix says like, oh, this didn't do good. But it's just like, it's phenomenal. It's really, truly incredible. And I do need you guys to like watch Blue Eye Samurai in the next month and a half or so. Not to talk about, just for your enjoyment. Yeah.
I mean, we can talk about it because it sounds like it's good. And I think these animated series, like, I mean, is it comparable to like Arcane for like a Netflix animated series?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what people are comparing it to, exactly to Arcane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then I would love to talk about it because I would love to talk about Arcane if we ever went back and talked about Arcane because that's a great.
I love it.
It's not a comparison in like the art style, just a comparison like this studio, whoever made this, like truly was able to put like the money and the story into it. There's just a lot of things in it that I just wasn't expecting. Like honestly, I thought this was gonna be like a cookie cutter like samurai revenge story, and it wasn't. It really reminded me of like a continuation of Mulan in a way, because like spoiler, the Blue Eye Samurai is a female, and you get that right off the back in the. If you start watching this in the first 5 minutes, you can't say like that's a woman. Like then I don't know what's wrong with you.
So it's like the Japanese version of Mulan. Okay,
yes, that's how I'm gonna sell it to you.
Oh yeah, Mulan was Chinese.
Yeah.
The Mongols were or the Huns.
Yeah, so definitely watch it. That's it for me.
Cool. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, next week we're doing Everything Everywhere at Once, and I can't wait to talk about that as well.
Everything Everywhere All at Once?
All at Once? Is that what it is from one?
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
All at Once. Yes.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, and I just saw it for the first time.
Rewatch it. You need to rewatch it.
I might
Oh.
have to buy it on like it's probably like I saw it for like $8 if I can still find it.
No,
I might
it's
have to just buy
on
it.
Peacock or Perma. I forgot which one.
Ro, you have to buy physical media. You have to
I
buy physical.
know.
Well, if you find a really cool tin case of this movie, I would buy it. But
Okay.
yes, I already own it on Amazon because
No,
I
honestly,
couldn't wait
that-
as soon as it aired.
Now that he said it's on Peacock, I'll probably just freaking stream it on Peacock. Because
Yeah,
I had the
it's
chance
on
to
Paramount or
buy it.
Peacock. Yeah.
I had the chance to buy it, and I already passed on it for Watchmen and Tom Cruise, the newest Top Gun movie. So
there you go.
That's a good
yeah.
movie too.
There you go.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.
Vaya con
Bye.
Dios.
I think nothing